track like I'm Usain. I spit on the track and let the blue flame. I've been off the streets for a few days.
Thank You Brother, aka
And I got a
TYB,
new bitch
aka
like
One Take Tank, aka Thank You Brother. We are here, first episode of the year. Thank you for this podcast. First episode of 2018. We are here with many more to come. This is the first one of many. This is gonna be a good year, man. I'm very excited to be doing this again. It's been long overdue. I've been meaning to do this for the past few weeks to get this recorded and get this put out. I'm very excited to be doing this. We're gonna talk about quite a few things on this episode. Some very important things in regards to this podcast and boot camp and music, what to expect from me and we just gonna talk about it all: politics, sports, movies, music, everything, man. We're gonna talk about it here. No filters. We're gonna talk about what we want, how we want, when we want. That's what we do here on Thank You for this podcast. So let's get right into it, man. First thing I do want to talk about is the difference between this and boot camp. I know for some that have listened to boot camp and those that have listened to Thank You for this podcast as well, you might be wondering what's the difference between the two. Why do you have two different podcasts going? Just differentiate the two podcasts. So that's what I'm going to do right now. The biggest difference is that boot camp is something that me and French do as a duo. We talk about things that we both feel like we can elaborate on, we can dive deep into, and we pretty much discuss the same type of topics that I would do here on that. So just a few different topics that like, for instance, stuff that I'm more passionate about that I feel like I can elaborate myself. I can talk about for as long as I need to. I feel like I can do that here, and then on there we talk about things that we both feel passionate about, and we also talk about Troop 42 and what to expect from everybody involved in Troop 42. We talk about our music and stuff like that, but here it's more me rambling. It's more so just me talking shit. I love to talk shit, so that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna do this a lot more. We also trying to get a schedule together for boot camp, and Thank You for this podcast. And we kind of got something set in stone. So every Monday will be episodes of Thank You for this podcast, and every Friday will be episodes of boot camp. That was supposed to start like last week, but I was making a transition back. Coming back to school, coming back home from home, so it was a lot going on, school related. I'm trying to get accustomed, get back into the groove, waking up every morning, going to class, and then he's been working. He being French, he's been working, so it's just kind of, last week was a little bit confusing. We're gonna get it together though, that's for sure. I know I could have definitely gotten it out if I would have, just been more ready to do it. I take full responsibility for not having these out last week, but we here, we're not making no more excuses. We're gonna finally get these going. I'm trying to do these every week. If I miss a week, then, or say if I miss a scheduled episode, say like next week I missed the drop, I'll have it out sometime that week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll try to have it out the next day or something. It'll be an episode from both at least once a week. So that's definitely something we're gonna be doing quite frequently throughout the year. Hopefully by the end of the year we have a lot of podcasts that you can just come back and listen to, and just be able to just binge. I wouldn't say binge watch, but you can say binge watch, because I also didn't mention that I'm trying to get this YouTube going. So all these podcasts will be going to YouTube, along with Soundcloud and iTunes. So you will have a lot of places to check them out, but I want YouTube to be the primary source where you can find these episodes. I feel like YouTube hits home more for people rather than SoundCloud or iTunes. Like, so I figured why not come to YouTube and try to do this. So we're gonna try to get this going on YouTube. Also, we're bringing music to the channel. We're bringing different kinds of content to the channel, reaction videos. As much as I hate the guy taking kind of like stuff what DJ Academics does on his YouTube, in terms of like the culture, the hip hop culture and stuff like that, bringing news to the channel and stuff like that. bringing that here. That's just some of the stuff we're gonna bring to this channel. You'll definitely be hearing more about that in the coming episodes. And if you don't follow me on Twitter or Snap, that's where you'll hear more about it. Thank you, brother. My at is will be in the description, so you can follow me, check me out. Stay tuned for what we got coming. I did elaborate more on. See, this is why I'm doing this podcast, so I can talk. Just talk about a topic and just elaborate. But I feel like I went too deep into that, so we're just gonna keep it going. So I kind of did kill two birds with one stone because I wanted to talk about the difference between boot camp. Thank you for this podcast, and also what's playing for 2018. I kind of did kill two birds with one stone with that little introduction. So the next thing I want to dive into, I know I mentioned it. I always like to start it off with some sports. I love just talking about the NBA, primarily my Boston Celtics and what they're doing. But we're gonna talk about them a little bit now. I don't know how many of you watch NBA. This is probably where you want to skip if you don't listen, or if you don't watch the NBA, you probably want to skip now and go a little bit ahead and trying to find where I start talking about what's next. But my Celtics are playing fucking hard. We just want to get Philly in London. London game 2018, first game in London this season, or this year. I won't say this season because it's the 8th London game for the NBA, but this is the first one of the year of 2018. And we played a good game. We were down 22, came back. Tatum had a great third quarter. Morris played great. Jaylen Brown played great. Kyrie struggled, but that's just because he shoots. That's kind of Kyrie's box score. Kind of reminds me of what a Kobe box score would look like. A lot of shots. With, like, say for instance, Kobe used to shoot like 8 for 28, but had like 30 points. That kind of reminds me of what a Kyrie box score looks like. Still producing wins, so I'm not too worried about his shooting percentages. He has his games where he's, a little off, but he still gets it going in the fourth quarter. He gets it going when we need him to get it going. And we pulled out that win. I think it was a 11-point win after being down 22. And what a great second half they played. I was really concerned this year, coming into this year, after we lost Avery Bradley and Jaylen Brown, Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder, that our defense was going to be not as good as it was last year. But we're playing really good D. I don't know if you guys watched that game in London, but the second half they came out and just strapped up, got stops. Joel was just like for the third game that we played this year, he's just been a non-factor, and that's kind of crazy that one of the best centers in the league, if not the best center in the league, was irrelevant in the game. He was a non-factor. They held him. I need to check how many points they held him to, but it was a great game nonetheless. They came out, played hard. Like I said, Tatum had a great third. He was just not missing off the dribble pull-ups. Jaylen Brown was just playing great D and running in transition. It was a great all-around game, and I'm very happy to see how good of a team they're playing out to be. They're living up. Now, everybody, I won't say everybody, a lot of people didn't expect them to be this good, even with Gordon Hayward. People expected Cleveland to still be the best team in the East, and Boston to be the second, and like Toronto and Washington, and then everybody else. Boston being number 1, and Toronto number 2, Cleveland number 3. Not what everybody expected, especially with Boston 34 wins. We've beaten OKC, we beat Houston, a comeback win against Houston. We've beaten Golden State, we've beaten Cleveland, and held Golden State to 89 points, I think, when we beat them. We handled business when we got a rematch against Cleveland on the 3rd. Just been playing great ball, man, and I don't think anybody expected that. I didn't expect it. I'm gonna be quite honest, because when we lost Avery Bradley, I thought our defense was gonna be trash. I remember getting the notification to my phone. I was sitting in I was on lunch at work, and I got the notification. I was sitting in the parking lot, and I was hurt. I was like, wow, we got rid of our best defender, and we got Marcus Morris and a pick or Baines back. I can't remember what else was included with Morris, but I didn't like the trade. But seeing how it's played out for us compared to how it's played out for Detroit's not playing as good as they can be. We won every move I think we made this offseason. The Kyrie trade, the draft, traded down from 1st to 3rd and got an extra pick and got Tatum, and I just think we be Danny Ainge be finessing niggas. I'm gonna keep it hot. He be finessing everybody. Like I just read on Twitter, somebody said when Tatum had his kid recently, Tatum Jr., JJ, he coming to Boston, you know what I'm saying? Give him a good 19 years. He about to play. But no, somebody was like, Danny Ainge is traded now for a 2037 unprotected first round pick. That's some shit I can see him doing just because. But back to the game on Thursday. Embiid only had 15 points. He shot 6 for 17. That's not a Joel game. I've seen him play in quite a few games, especially his games against Detroit and Drummond and Whiteside, and whenever he goes in these marquee matchups against other great centers, he has great games. And every time he's played Boston, it's like Baines and Al Horford is like a kryptonite then, especially Baines. I don't know what it is. I know Baines is a very physical player, but I would expect someone like Joel to be able to take him. But I guess not. That's just the bottom line to it. I don't understand why Joel just can't get it going against us. At the same time, I'm glad he can. I'm not saying he should be getting it going, but I don't understand why he can't get it going against Boston. But we're going to move on from Joel. Then we're going to dive into a little bit more NBA. Now, after seeing Cleveland play Toronto the other night going down 41 points or whatever it was, 40 points, it was over 40. Prior to that game, I've been thinking that Toronto is slept on, and I was talking to French and Ant a few days ago, and they both think that Toronto is garbage, and I'm just like, Toronto is one of the hardest teams to beat at home. They just lost last night to Golden State, but it was from what I saw, I didn't watch the whole game. I'll check the highlights. I'll check the highlights sometime today. But they're hard to beat at home, and I don't think a lot of people understand that they are a hard team to beat at home. Let me see. Hold on. Toronto is 15-3 at home. That's the best home record in the league right now. Or no, San Antonio is 19-2, but that is the best home record in the East. And if you can't beat a team at home, how can you expect to beat somebody who has home court advantage in the playoffs? That's what people need to consider. If they're 15-2 at home, they're second seed, they're going to get home court advantage. How do you expect to beat them in a 7-game series? Well, you have to play them in Toronto 4 out of those 7 games. They've only lost twice. They're not losing at home. That makes them a hard team to beat with home court. I can see if they were a 5th seed. Anything below, of course, 1 through 4 you got home court, 5 through 8 you don't. If they were a 5th seed and they were this still good at home, you got an advantage. You got 4 games at your home court and they have 3 of theirs. So you have the advantage. But I don't understand why people don't give Toronto their props, especially how they just handled Cleveland. I don't care that Isaiah just came back. I really don't care. I got all the love in the world for Isaiah. Still one of my favorite guards in this league. But their defense is horrible, and it's not getting any better with Isaiah on the floor. I personally think Jeff Green is their best defender behind LeBron and possibly even Iman. LeBron, Iman, and Jeff Green are the best defenders on that team, and that's it. Nobody else. I think Kevin Love has his days on defense, but he also slacks as well. If you watch that Toronto game, he was giving up a lot of buckets. He gave up plenty of buckets, as did the whole team, LeBron included. LeBron was letting people get to the rim and not even contesting. I'm like, LeBron, come on, bro. I saw somebody tweet the other day, the video of somebody blowing by Kevin Love. I can't remember who it was. He blew by Kevin Love and got a dunk, and there was a timeout, and LeBron stood right there and watched it. He was right close to the paint. He was right at the paint. Let him just get to the rim. Now, somebody was like, imagine Kobe or Mike doing that. Now, I know this is weird to hear from a Boston fan, but Kobe, my favorite player of all time, I never saw him just give somebody an open look to the lane. I've watched so many Kobe highlights and so many Kobe games. I just don't see Kobe doing that. I can't speak on MJ because I'm not an MJ guy. I don't really know much about MJ games. And I hate when people who didn't watch MJ growing up. For me to say MJ is one of the best, you got to live in that era. You have to see them play. You have to be a part of that era that they played in. I was a part of the Kobe era and the LeBron era, and I think Kobe is the best to ever do it. But that's not to stray away from what we're talking about. Cleveland's defense is not getting better unless they make a move. Now I've been hearing that Cleveland is trying to possibly move Tristan Thompson for DeAndre Jordan from LA. And I personally don't think it's a smart trade on the Clippers' part, unless you're getting the pick, that Brooklyn pick, because Tristan, I don't see how you can replace Tristan or DJ with Tristan Thompson and expect to still be good. He's not nearly as good as DJ, even though they have the same offensive skill set. They just catch lobs and dunk, and they're great rebounders, and great rim protectors. But DJ is a much bigger guy and a much more athletic player, so I don't see how you can replace DJ with Tristan Thompson. They said that they might include Iman. Still don't think that's good because Iman is defense only. He sucks on offense. Bro, it's horrible. He's fucking garbage. Let's be real. I just don't think that's smart. That's just me personally though. I don't think that's smart to give up DJ for two players that are one-sided. You know what I'm saying? They're only gonna help you on defense. Now, like I said, Tristan can catch a lob, but neither one of them can create offense for them or anybody else. If you had to rely on them for offense, you're better off not playing them. Like, just sit them on the bench if you want, like, to win a game. You can't rely on them for offense. But yeah, Isaiah in Cleveland, I know he's trying to get back into the groove and things. I know he's coming off a hip injury. I understand that. I completely understand that. You've been out of the game for about 7-8 months. You haven't really played a consistent schedule yet. You're 3 games back. Even still, I don't think they're when it's time for the playoffs, their defense is not going to be any better if they still have the same team. Isaiah's going to have to be tucked away on the other team's worst offensive player. But if you go against the Boston Celtics, or if you go against Toronto, or any of these teams with a great coach, even if you go against Milwaukee or somebody, they're going to expose Isaiah on defense. Don't think that if they play Boston, Brad Stevens is not going to expose Isaiah on defense in a 7-game series and make them want to sit Isaiah when it's time to play, when it's time to get a stop on a crucial play. Say for instance in the fourth quarter, you got to take him out if it's Boston ball and we're up 2 and you got to get a stop. You have to sit Isaiah down because they're going to go straight to him and he can't stop. Imagine, now go back to that. Imagine fourth quarter, Boston up 2. Isaiah's guarding Kyrie. That's barbecue chicken. Come on now, you know that. We all know that. Isaiah's not stopping anybody unless they're 5'9" like him. He can probably get more than likely he can guard me. I think that's the only person he can guard is me. I'm 5'9" as well, so I don't think he can guard anybody that's above 6 foot. That's just the bottom line. And it's going to be tough to see Cleveland make a run with this bad defense. So we'll see though. It's still early for Isaiah. He has time to get back into the groove of things, get his explosiveness back, get his speed back. That speed ain't gonna help you on defense, dog. I'm sorry. That shit's not gonna help you. Last year I watched almost every Boston game. That was my first year having League Pass. I watched nearly every Boston game, especially in the second half of the season. He can't play defense. Now take this, like I said, from somebody who watched a lot of Boston games last year and years prior when he was there. He cannot play defense. Don't take this as somebody that's a Boston fan hating on Cleveland, because that's not what is going on here. I just don't think he can play defense for shit. Like, that's just plain and simple. Anybody can tell you that is a NBA fan. In an unbiased opinion, people will tell you that. So that's just the bottom line to it. But the next thing I want to get into is something I want to do every episode. Is called the plug of the day, where we just kind of just put something out there that not a lot of people probably know about. People probably do. We're just trying to get it more out there for people to know about, so they can enjoy whatever this plug is. You know what I'm saying? So, but for this first, we're actually gonna have 2, and one of them I've been telling a lot of people that I know personally about this, just because I think this is one of the best deals I've ever heard of for college students, because this only applies to college students. So if you're not a college student, I'm sorry, that's tough luck. But yeah, so the first one is, I don't know how many of you have a Netflix account or whatever the case might be. Black Mirror. Now, Black Mirror is probably one of the best shows I've seen since I first started watching The Office. They're like the episodes are like movies. Like they feel like they're an hour and a half, but they're really like an hour and some change possibly. But they feel like they're a movie. Like every episode is a different story. It's like I'm watching mini movies. Now, if you have not watched Black Mirror, please start watching that today. First episode is going to fuck you up. I watched the first episode when I went to the dentist. I know it might sound a little weird, but in my dentist office, they let you watch Netflix while they're working, they're like doing your teeth or whatever, or you can listen to Pandora. That's like only two options you have. But I was watching Black Mirror. I was like, this is the best time for me to start. Let me watch this first episode. First episode, crazy. I won't talk about what happened if you haven't seen it, but shit is crazy. Like I said, if you haven't watched it, please check it out. Black Mirror on Netflix. I think it's 4 seasons. First season has 3 episodes, but they're all like an hour a piece, hours and change. So definitely go check those out. Now this other plug, the one I'm very, 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 very excited to talk about, is that Spotify has this deal for students. A $5 deal similar to what Apple Music does. Apple Music does a $5 for student per month through Unit Days. Now, I don't know who Spotify does this through. I don't know if it's Unit Days. I don't know who it is. I have to look more into that. I can't remember when I signed up. I did this over Christmas. I think the Christmas day I got this. But they have a deal that beats Apple Music's deal. Not only will you get Spotify Premium for $5, you also get Hulu for $5 combined. Like you don't pay $5 for both, you pay $5 together. Like I don't see how you can beat that. Truthfully, Hulu has like every TV show that you can think of, and that's why I think Hulu beats Netflix in that area. Now, Netflix has great TV shows itself. Like a lot of Netflix exclusive TV shows are really good, like a Black Mirror. They have a lot of great TV shows themselves, but Hulu has like every TV show that you really can think of, from old to new. They have it all. Like when I first got Hulu a long time ago, I used to watch shit from VH1, the old VH1 days, like I Love New York and Flavor of Love and shit, like those love shows that they had on VH1. That was like the main reason why I only got Hulu, like just to go back and watch old shit that I used to watch. They have it all. Like anything that you can think of TV show wise, they have it. Like I said, it's $5 a month. I don't know if this is like something that's running for a certain period of time. I don't know how long it's going to be. But if you are hearing this now and you are interested in getting Spotify and you are a student looking to the Spotify for Students deal, you also get Hulu. Now it includes commercials. Like there's like different Hulu plans you can get, some with commercials. There's a plan without commercials. This one includes it's like a limited commercial plan or something like that, but it's worth it. Like you get Hulu and Spotify. Spotify is dope in itself. This is my first time ever having Spotify, ever using Spotify. Compared to Apple Music, I think it's very dope, especially like being able to see what your friends are listening to. It's very dope, very, very dope. I know Apple Music is kind of doing that now, where they can let you follow people and see what they listen to and see their playlists and stuff. It's pretty cool that Spotify lets you see it and stuff like that, and especially like how you can connect your phone to your laptop. Like me, I have a Xbox One, my MacBook, and my iPhone. I can play
Back up on the track like I'm Usain. I spit on the track and let the blue flame. I've been off the streets for
It's
a
your boy,
few
thank you
days.
brother, aka
And I got a
TYB,
new bitch
aka
like
One Take Tank, aka Thank You Brother. We are here, first episode of the year. Thank you for this podcast. First episode of 2018. We are here with many more to come. This is the first one of many. This is gonna be a good year, man. I'm very excited to be doing this again. It's been long overdue. I've been meaning to do this for the past few weeks to get this recorded and get this put out. I'm very excited to be doing this. We're gonna talk about quite a few things on this episode. Some more, very important things in regards to this podcast and boot camp and music, what to expect from me and we just gonna talk about it all: politics, sports, movies, music, everything, man. We're gonna talk about it here. No filters. We're gonna talk about what we want, how we want, when we want. That's what we do here on Thank You for this podcast. So let's get right into it, man. First thing I do want to talk about is the difference between this and boot camp. I know for some that have listened to boot camp and those that have listened to thank you for this podcast as well. Um, you might be wondering what's the difference between the two. Why do you have two different podcasts going? Uh, just differentiate the two podcasts. So that's what I'm going to do right now. The biggest difference is that boot camp is something that me and French do as a duo. We talk about things that we both feel like we can elaborate on, we can dive deep into. Um, and we pretty much discuss the same type of topics that I would do here on that. So, just a few different topics that, like for instance, stuff that I'm more passionate about that I feel like I can elaborate myself. I can talk about for as long as I need to. I feel like I can do that here, and then on there we talk about things that we both feel passionate about, and we also talk about Troop 42 and what to expect from everybody involved in Troop 42. We talk about our music and stuff like that. But here, it's more me rambling. It's more so just me talking shit. I love to talk shit, so that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna do this a lot more. We also trying to get a schedule together for boot camp. I think like their user interfaces to me better on the iPhone. If now, one thing I do wish that Apple Music had in terms of their interface that Spotify has is like a night mode, because that white screen, that shit be hurting a nigga eyes. I'm gonna keep it hot. Spotify is black. It's cool on your eyes. I might sound weak, but my eyes, man, I'm trying to take care of my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I hate that bright ass white screen in my face Spotify just feels good on my eyes. That might sound weird, but whatever, fuck it. Um, Now, speaking of Netflix, recently, I think about a month ago, Will Smith was in a movie called Bright. A lot of people said it was trash. I watched it, I think 3 times, because the first time I watched like the first half and like just started working on music, so I wasn't paying attention to the second half. Not because it was boring or anything, I was just in the mood to work on something, so I tuned it out. But the second time I watched it and paid attention more to the second half of the movie, that movie is not bad, bro. Like, I think Will Smith made that movie enjoyable. Now I was kind of confused as to why, like, how things ended up the way they were, and I understood the connections that they tried to make between like that movie's world and the real world, like stereotypes and stuff like that. I just don't. Like I said, I want to understand how things got the way that they like work. Uh, so I think Bright was good. Bright was a very good movie. Like I said, Will Smith made that movie enjoyable. If it wasn't for Will, I wouldn't have watched it. I'm gonna be honest. Cause if you would have put somebody else in that role, I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have hit home if it was somebody else and not Will. But if you haven't seen Bright as well, go check that out. If you haven't seen it, get your own opinion on it. Go watch it. Give it a few watches, because it's like one of those movies that you have to give a few watches to, just so you can understand everything that's going on. That's what I think. But Bright was good. Bright was good. I think I don't know if they're gonna do a sequel, because nowadays people love to milk a fucking movie. They love to get sequels and trilogies and reboots out of everything nowadays. So I don't know if they're gonna do it too. I hope they don't, because that's how you ruin an original. That's been the case for as long as I can remember. A lot of sequels and trilogies ruin movies. So I don't think they should go any further with it. Now they should do more Will Smith Netflix movies, in my opinion, because I feel like Will Smith still got a lot left in that tank of his. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing Bright, he can still run a movie. You know what I'm saying? So Bright, very good movie. I don't think it was that bad. I've talked to people like the other day in class. We were talking about it. I think only me and somebody else thought it was good. Everybody else thought it was trash. I just don't see it. Like, I'm trying to see it through their eyes and understand what they mean, but I just can't. It's just not bad to me. And that's one thing. I want y'all to go see for yourselves. Like, just see for yourself if it's bad or not. I don't think it is. And I think people on, like, I didn't really start seeing people say it was bad until like it came out and people on Twitter got like a hold of it and they were just somebody made like this big post about it and how it was bad. I'm like, I just don't understand that. That's what made me watch it was this big long thread about the movie. I was okay, let's go see this for myself and see what's going on. I don't think it was bad. Now, speaking of Will Smith, I've recently read. I think he did an interview. He was talking or did a post or something. Um, he was talking about the Fresh Prince reboot and what would his role be in the movie, and also working with Jaden. Now he said if there were a Fresh Prince reboot, he would love to be Uncle Phil. Now I think that would be dope, especially because they look alike at this point. Like Will's got the bald head and gray beard. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But he can definitely do the Uncle Phil role, and I think compared to like other TV shows that have tried to make a revival, like me and my sister was talking about that. So Raven tried to come back, it was trash, and Full House tried to come back and it was trash. Fresh Prince, I think, is one of the only TV shows that can have a really good comeback because of how it hit people. You know what I'm saying? Like, Will Smith made that TV show what it is, and for him to still be a part of it, uh, and then come back as Uncle Phil, who wouldn't want to see that? Like compared to that, so Raven, where Raven became the mom and her kid is having the same kind of shit she had, but you replace like Eddie in the movie and everything, like it doesn't hit the same. But if you bring Will back as Uncle Phil and Fresh Prince, people I think are more interested in seeing that than any of these other TV shows making comebacks. Now, I think Jaden will definitely kill his role. I think playing Will's old role in the movie, I think he would definitely kill that, and I would love to see it. Now, I'm not like some diehard Fresh Prince fan, but I think that would be a good TV show. And of course, in this age, it'll probably be a Netflix only kind of thing. But um, hey, fuck it. That's how Netflix getting their bread, is getting these crazy TV shows and stuff to come to them. I think it's something there. If it is something that's gonna happen, it will be a Netflix exclusive. So, we'll see though. We'll definitely see about that. Yeah, I want to elaborate, or not even elaborate. I want to talk about a few more topics, but I'm gonna hold off on some of these. And I'm gonna kind of wrap it up a little bit quicker with this last topic. I know it's kind of like a subtle, a quick switch to a different kind of field, but I want to talk about that motherfucking dickhead running this motherfucking country and his shithole comments. I won't talk too much about it because there's not really much to talk about. But I spent the past like 2 days watching a bunch of CNN interviews of like a bunch of Trump lackeys, if you will, trying to defend his shithole comments, and one of them being Pastor Mark Burns, who I personally think is a fucking coon. How can you excuse, or how can you even defend somebody calling countries that are notably black countries shitholes, and then saying that you want only Norwegian immigrants, but you don't want anybody that is brown or black? And then people like Mark Burns and plenty of others are saying, oh, he's saying that if you're coming from these countries, you're coming because your government couldn't take care of you. You want to come to America because you knew that America's government is way better, and we don't want people coming from countries if you can't offer something to America. Like, how can you really sit here and defend, especially Mark Burns? I have a legitimate problem with Mark Burns as a black person, a black man. You're defending somebody calling a black country a shithole. I don't know how much he's paying you to sit up here and coon it up, but bro, come on now, let's be real. This man's racist, plain and simple. Like he only wants white immigrants compared to brown and black immigrants. Like, that's bottom line. That's what he said. That's what he meant. There's no other way to take it. There's no he meant that your government is trash. No, it's none of that. Because if he meant that, he would have said that. He would have said Haiti's government is horrible, that's why people come here. He would have said that. But he said the country is a shithole. Now, everybody knows that Donald Trump has a history of being racist. I was watching the CNN interview. I didn't even know this, that when when he got black applicants, he would write a C on the application for color. Now, I don't want to say that is true because that one person said it. I don't want to say that is true, but if that is the case, which I don't doubt it isn't true, knowing Donald Trump, I feel like that is true. That lets you know what kind of person he is and always has been. Now, people know he has a history of being racist, so I don't think people should be shocked that he said that Haiti and all these other black countries were shitholes, or not were shitholes, are shithole countries. Excuse me. I don't think people should be surprised, personally, but of course, Trump supporters are going to find a way to make this seem like he meant something else, that he's not being racist, and it's sad, man. It's sad that we live in a country where this man can say whatever, he can do whatever, and he won't get in trouble for it. Like, he won't get impeached. I don't understand what's taking so long for an impeachment process to really kick off. Now, something I was also thinking, say if Obama said some of this kind of shit, I mean, of course it wouldn't make sense if he said Africa or Haiti was a shell country. You can't say he's being racist, but it really doesn't hit like that because he's also black. But say if he said, nah, fuck Norwegian or Norway, we don't want no Norwegian immigrants, fuck them niggas. Like, along those lines, he would not be in the office. I feel like he would be getting even more hate than Donald Trump gets because he's black. And especially from the racist ass Fox News, they would be on his ass like white on rice. Let's be real. If Obama did any of these shit that Trump is doing, he would not be in office. He would have not been elected 2 terms. Let's just keep it. Let's be real. So I just want I want y'all to think about that. And if you're a Trump supporter listening, think about that. If Obama did any of this shit Trump has done, would he still be in office? I want you to really dwell on that. I want you to think, take some time to really process that, and let's have a conversation about it. Follow me on Twitter, Thank You Brother. Instagram, Thank You Brother. Snapchat, Thank You Brother. Everything the same. And if you got my number, you want to have a conversation about it, and, hit me up. I would love to talk about it. I wanna understand from a Trump supporter, why does he think like this, and why do y'all keep defending him and rocking with him? I want to understand that. So that's how we gonna end this episode with some food for thought. It's something to leave y'all to think with. So we gonna finish that off like that. As always, it's your boy TYB. New episodes coming every Monday. Thank you for this podcast. We got boot camp coming this Friday with French Produce. None other than French Produce. The one and only. Shoot 42's leader. We gonna come back with a new boot camp episode this Friday. Hopefully if that man is not bullshitting now. I know he's getting his tape together, Winter in France. And he's trying to get some features out of me. Like that boy XXX said on Rolling Peace. What he say? I won't do the feature, whatever he said. Nah, French, I can't get you no features, dog. I'm sorry, man. I'm retired. Got kids now. I don't rap no more. So, I'm fucking with him. But no, we got new boot camps episodes coming this Friday. Like I said, Winter in France from French Producers coming. I have a feature or a few features on there. I'm not too sure. I know Beetlejuice from my album is on there. That was a collaborative work. So, of course, it'll be on his project as well as mine. So keep your eyes open for new French music. It's been a minute. It's been a few months since we've had a project from that boy. So keep a lookout for him. But as always, it's your boy Thank You Brother, a.k.a. TYB, a.k.a. One Tank, a.k.a. Thank You Brother. And I will see y'all next Monday on the next episode of Thank You for this podcast. Deuces.
I spit on the track and let the blue flame. I've been off the shits for a few days. And I got a new bitch like every Tuesday.